Okay, so my name is Simone Bresi-Ando. I'm 34 today. Woo! So, it's great. I love birthdays, by the way. So, how did I get into it and what was my motivations for being in PR? When I grew up in 80s London, and 80s London was very different to what you guys are experiencing now. And very much so, I realised in a lot of the books and the magazines that there weren't a lot of people who looked like me, or at least they weren't from Catford, or they didn't have the kind of upbringing that I did. And so I thought, you know what, I want to understand why. Why is it that I can't see reflections of myself, or reflections of myself that I could relate to? So I wasn't a drug dealer. I wasn't a prostitute. I wasn't somebody who was bad. What I was a girl who had lots of dreams, kind of like studying sometimes, absolutely loved music, and just really wanted to explore the world. So this is where I think I became understanding how possible I was. Possible is a really important word to me because I've run a social enterprise called I'm Possible. What I'm Possible does, it empowers women of colour to think about themselves in ways that are maybe not presented to them in a sort of everyday life. Studied at university and did a communications and culture degree at Coventry. I was sent to Coventry. I failed my A-levels, yes I did. This is a girl who always did really well at school, but I got into boys at college. I went to Christ the King in Lucian, and that's right, I went there. And I failed, basically. I was brilliant at English, but my marks didn't show me that I was brilliant. The one thing I did get was quite a pretty good mark in sociology and media. So instead of going to Goldsmiths, where I was destined to go, I was sent to Coventry. You may know that kind of saying. But basically I went to Coventry Uni. So feeling really depressed and thinking that, you know, this was all over for me and oh my God, I got into Coventry, off I went. So I had to really adjust and understand what culture I was going into. But very much so, I was really excited at the prospect of understanding what the media was, how it worked and how powerful it could be and how I could change my reality with it. And with that, I was able to get a 2-1 and come out of university armed with my degree, but also with my dreams. While I went to university, I attempted government as a secretary. My first job was the Deputy Prime Minister's Secretary, John Prescott at the time. That's right, that's what I did when I came out of uni. So I went to New York Times Centre in New York in Times Square, and I was like, oh my God, what am I getting into? And just like this, a room like this, I had Naomi Campbell sitting over there, Queen Latifah over there, Mary J. Blige there, and I couldn't believe that a girl from Catford was sitting in the same room as these women. But one thing I did understand is that it was possible for me to be there because I just wanted more, and I was always working to achieve it more. Yeah. That's a really good point about who you surround yourselves with. I don't know if you sort of looked into success or successful people, but a lot of them make sure that they surround themselves with people who want the best for them. We all know the term haters, don't we? And I'm sure in Drake's new song where he says no new friends. Yes, I'm 34, but I'm hip. I'm still down the kids. No, basically the reason why I bring that up is because it's really important to understand who your friends are, and sometimes your friends will leave you. And sometimes you'll gain new ones, and they'll be better for you. But that's all right, because that's the cycle of life. That's what we all go through. But the point about you surrounding yourself with positive people is one of the central points to a lot of my success. In the sense that I knew that I wanted to work for a global company, but I was working in Hackney Council, I was working in Suffolk Council. So how did I make that leap? My friend who designs for Puma works for a big global company. So I started talking, I said, look, how did you do it? How did you go from we used to work in Carolina together. How did you go from Carolina to actually flying around the world and designing Puma trainers that you guys would buy in the shops? And he literally told me 5 books that I needed to get. And he literally also told me that I need to read widely. And I also think that's another way. In any kind of journey, anything, you have to be really specific. I knew I wanted to do PR. And I know that you may not feel that I exactly know what I want to do. But if you have a sort of area of interest, look at that area, try different things within that, get some experience in it. It's really hard for someone to give you a job or to talk to you and they don't really know what you want from it. Do you know what I mean? Because if you want to help you, they would be like, right, I can help you do X because this is where you're lacking, so this is what I can give to you. But with it's like, well, you haven't really told me what you want to do, so I don't really know how I can help you. It's really difficult to help. So, that's enough about me, that's what I do, this is why I'm before you today. But I want to hear from all of you guys about why you think you're possible.